What's up, guys? Welcome to Books or Nick. I am sick. Happy to have you here. I actually intended to look up what week it was because I cannot remember. I was going to continue on with the week by week thing to keep a number track going, but I think we're at like week 62 or something like that. I'll check for next week. I apologize. Anyways, thanks for being here. I got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about today. A lot of book stuff, some recent book finishes. Well, one recent book finish, book club polls, what we're reading in April. What I'm currently reading, what I'm going to read next. I also have some other things like these glasses I got to show you in a second. And yeah, some writing updates, some book club updates, and just stuff like that. But first up, I am going to show you these glasses. This is not book related, but I did want to share this because it is kind of content related, making video related. So I thought you might be interested. I have no idea. If not, apologies. But these are Ray-Bans. And what's cool about these Ray-Bans is that this case, what looks like just an average eyeglass case, is actually, see that light? Is actually something more. So these are Ray-Bans, as you might guess. I don't wear glasses, so I, wasn't sure how much I was going to like these. But you put them on, and I don't know if you can see or if you can tell, but there are little cameras on each side here. And so why that is cool is because when you're walking around, you kind of just look like normal dude, and wha-bam. I don't know if you saw that. A little light will come on when you're taking a photo or a video so that people know. It's not, makes it a little less weird, I guess. But when you're taking a video, you just hold it down and it will kind of flash like that, which is just so cool. And the reason that I was excited about this is because when I'm out and about, which is not often, I'm not often making videos outside of sitting at my desk here. But when I am, I got to admit, I really hate walking around and just like, doing this. It just makes me feel the worst. Like, I just feel so awkward doing it. And so the idea of just being able to kind of click these on my glasses and maybe look a little bit more normal was really, really exciting. The first time I tried these out, I did not realize that the video is actually not horizontal. I had assumed maybe because they're glasses, they're wide, that the video would be kind of wide angle, fit for YouTube, but it's actually vertical. So it's more fit for other social media platforms or shorts here on YouTube. So going forward, if I do get a pair, because these are not mine, my friend Vic, who has a lot of cool gadgets, is letting me borrow these to try them out. So I don't know if I'm going to get a pair yet. I'm going to keep testing them out. I'm going to show you what it looks like here in a second. But yeah, I don't know. If I do get them going forward, it probably will only be appropriate for other social media platforms. But, either way, do you want to check it out? I'll show you a little walk over to Rooney's that I did just about 30 minutes ago. This is a trip I take about 3 or 4 times a day. I spend a lot of time over at Rooney's, and so here you go. All right, off we go. I just got to throw on my jacket because it is a smidge cooler out today than it was yesterday. This is what they look like. I don't know. How do I look? I don't wear glasses. I feel like they look pretty normal, though, considering there's a camera built into them. Some of the footage can be a little dizzying because there's a lot of head turning when you're crossing streets, but I do think the perspective is pretty cool, pretty unique. And yeah, that's a dog that is cool. And this is Rooney's, which is also cool. This is where I spend a good chunk of my life these days. So if you ever want to come say hi, I'll likely be sitting at this table trying to get work done, but more than likely getting very little done. This is Katie.
Hey, Nick. I don't know.
That's Katie. This is Cool Melon Cucumber Water. I don't actually know why I'm showing this. I just really like it. And this is a film drop-off box. You can throw your film in there. It gets shipped off to a developer, and then they email you your photos. Pretty cool. I'm going with tea today. I've had 3 coffees already. So peppermint tea, good for the bones, good for the body, and I don't want to start vibrating or die or whatever. So, it's tea from here on out. The best thing about this place is the photo books. I'm a photographer. I love looking at photo books, and it's so cool to have a space that is dedicated solely to photo books. There's some really, really great stuff here. Some of my favorite books in my collection I bought from here, and there's always something unique that I've never seen before. That's neat. Look at that. One of my favorite books here, Peggy Levinson's Juggling is Easy. Just a lot of home photos, black and white, photos that just punch you in the face. I'm a huge, huge fan of this book. Definitely check it out if you do ever get the chance. This is a coffee called Cowboy Tears. I just like the name, and it's actually a good coffee. This is a photo gallery that's up right now. It's called Cloud Factory, and that is all. Bye, Katie. Back out into the wild world of Hamilton. Walking home. There's a nice mural someone drew, but unfortunately someone also put a fish on the mask, so that's unfortunate. This is the back alleyway to get back to my house. I honestly never take this way because it doesn't make sense, but I thought I would today for the sake of this video. I do sometimes come back here to do photo shoot work, but anyway, that's my little free library. It needs some love. It's been attacked mostly by our children, so I gotta show it some love. This is our dog, Tom. He's always happy to see anybody, and this is Lindsay's studio. She's in shipping mode right now, so there's stuff everywhere, and this is my desk, also stuff everywhere. So that's it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of that. I actually was pretty impressed with the quality. I believe it's a 12 megapixel camera in here. I think the jump from the last pair to this pair was like going from an iPhone 4 to an iPhone 11, which is a very big jump. So I, right off the bat, was very, very impressed with the quality of the camera in there. Totally usable, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you thought and what you thought of Rooney's, which is very proud of Rooney's, even though I have no stake in Rooney's. I just love that place. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on to some books. My book finish of the last week is this one here by Patrick Radden Keefe. This is Say Nothing. This is a nonfiction book, of course. This is about Northern Ireland and the IRA, essentially. This is something that I've wanted to learn more about anyways for quite some time, because I have always been pretty fascinated by that whole situation and this topic, and didn't really know a lot to ever have an educated conversation with anybody about it. And so after reading this book, I feel like I know quite a bit. It's a very dense book. There's a lot of information in here, tons of information. And with that said, you'd think, this is probably going to be a pretty heavy read, pretty boring read, pretty tough read. It reads like a novel. It really, the way he's structured this, it's exciting, it's interesting, you're never bored. Some of the chapters are very tense. There's one I believe called Close England. That was particularly like, I was on the edge of my seat or whatever the phrase is. It was really, really well done. And the story centers around the disappearance of a mother named Jean McConville who had 10 children, which was apparently pretty normal for back then. And she gets taken and is never seen again, and no one ever knows, like all 10 of her kids, no one knows what happened to their mom. No one knows what happened to her. And so through stories from some of the big players in the IRA, we kind of try to slowly sort of figure out what likely happened to Jean. I will say there are some answers towards the end. I don't think there's any definitive answer, but you pretty much know by the end of the book. It's great. Really, really good. Patrick Radden Keefe's writing style for nonfiction is really, really nice. So I'm pretty excited to jump into Empire of Pain at some point. I was not intending to read Empire of Pain anytime soon, but I've got the itch now after reading this because it was really, really good. Super good book. I don't know. So currently I am reading In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. This is one of our book club books for this month for the Sick Book Club. Look at this. I got this while I was on vacation. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for watching that vlog last week. I know that was a little different. Appreciate you guys tuning in and checking that one out. It was really fun to do. Just a nice little relaxing time away. But I did find this copy while I was away. I love the clouds. I love the look of the cover. And I don't know how you guys feel about this. I personally love it. I'm not sure how you feel, but I love when used bookstores put their own little stamp on the inside of the page just to kind of personalize it that much more. I'm a big fan of that. So In Cold Blood is what I'm reading right now. It is so good. It is so good. There's apparently a little bit of, I don't know if it's criticism or just dialogue that's being had right now about some of the things in the book being not true or kind of not, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of made up in a sense, just to kind of push the story forward. Like some of the conversations that the characters are having, you do kind of think in your head, like how would anybody possibly know exactly what these people were saying or doing in that moment? But that said, I'm really enjoying this. The writing style of it, it's really, again, you might expect it reads like a novel. It does read like a novel, and I'm pretty early on here, but yeah, I think I'm gonna love this one. So, In Cold Blood, criticism aside, in terms of it just being a good book, I'm really loving it so far, and I'll have a full review of that once I'm finished. I'm very early on here. I'm only on like page 70, so we'll let you know when that's all finished up. Speaking of book club, the book that we are reading for next month, I know I mentioned in my last video, but I will mention it again. We are reading Shogun by James Clavell. It is big book month for the Sick Book Club, so if you want to read Shogun with us, please do. It's a really long one, as you might expect. It is big book month. So I think it's about 1,500 pages, and I'm real excited. I know there's the show that's out. I've not seen the show, and to be honest with you, I don't really know a single thing about this story other than the few things I've read online to get me hyped for the book. But it does sound like it's going to be a really exciting read. From what I've heard from a lot of other people, it can be a bit of a slow start, but once you settle in, you are going to be hooked, and I can't wait to hit that point with Shogun. When you're looking for Shogun too, oftentimes it's split up into two books. I think that's just because it is such a long book, but you can find it all together in one. I'm trying to find one without the show covers. That's the only one that I've been able to find lately. I gotta say, as far as show covers go, I don't have my copy yet, so I can't show you. But as far as show covers go, it's not bad. The show covers are not bad. Usually they're pretty awful. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the one for what's that Blake Crouch novel that I love, Dark Matter. There's a show cover Dark Matter out now. It's horrible. It is so bad. Check it out. It's the worst. But the one for Shogun is actually not bad. So yeah, anyways, moving on. I did have to tell you guys about Discord. Discord is something that I know nothing about, or I knew nothing about a few days ago, but now I feel like I'm a little more educated. Discord is a online platform where you can just build a community. And so a lot of people over in my book club that I host on Patreon were like, we want Discord. And I was hesitant because I'm old and I just didn't want to learn anything new, honestly. But I finally got it. I got the book club set up with a Discord. So if you are a part of the Patreon, a part of the book club, you have access to the Discord. The Discord is wildly active and so fun. We've got a bunch of different things on there. So it's just a big chat community, right? But you can also go live. There's a hotline book section where you can hop on a call with anybody else that's there and just have a chat. But we got sick chat. We got, you can share book pickups, book recommendations. But we've also got other things like Health Club. I'm starting a bit of a health journey, just in terms of working out. I went to a gym last night with my friend Tom, who is in really good shape, and showed me how to kind of do some things. I can barely walk today. I'm walking like a baby giraffe. I can barely move, but I feel good. So there's a health chat over there where people are just it's kind of just an encouragement thing. We're encouraging everybody to get healthy. There's a film club, music club, writing club, share your pets, share your tattoos, share what you're eating. There's a bunch of stuff over there. It's a lot of fun. The most active ones are the Smut Club and the Sick Chat. So yeah, I don't know. Just thought I'd let you know in case you want to join up. It's a lot of fun. Moving on to book pickups. I can't remember if I shared these last week. If I did, I apologize. But I got these here. This is the On the Abolition of All Political Parties by Simone Weil. Hope I'm saying that right. That's an NYRB nonfiction book. Looking forward to reading this this month. I'm going to read it by the end of the month. It's really quick, and I've heard really cool things about it, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. I also picked up this one here. This is called Faith, Hope, and Carnage by Nick Cave and Sean O'Hagan. Again, apologies if I already shared these. I honestly couldn't remember when I started this, but Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, just such a cool band. And the owner of the bookstore that I picked this up at is, I think he said this is his favorite book of all time. So I had to get it, right? I got to get it when someone says that. So pick that one up. And I also got this one while I was away on vacation. This is The Third Reich at War by Richard J. Evans. And this is, I mentioned last week, is this a trilogy? This is indeed a trilogy, and this is indeed the last book. So I got to pick up two others before I can jump into this one. But I've heard really good things about that. I'm still in nonfiction month. There's only 10 days left, so I got to get through In Cold Blood and this one here. And I was actually trying to figure out, what am I going to read after In Cold Blood? My opinion keeps changing. I've jumped around from like 3 or 4 different books, but I think I've got the one. Ow. This is Bad Blood. This is by John Carreyrou. I think this might be the one that I read next. It just sounds so fascinating. Secrets and lies in a Silicon Valley startup. I don't know. Rich people doing bad things, and then it's biting them in the butt just makes me happy. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. That's all that's going on, really. The podcast, if you've been checking that out, I appreciate it. That's a podcast I do with Evan. It's called Book Reviews Kill. It's over on Spotify and Apple Music if you want to check that out. We do it every week. I think we're on episode 5 or 6 now. So that's been a really good time. Writing is going really well. I've had a few little nice little writing breakthroughs where you're just like, oh, this makes sense now. And so that's felt really good. I'm trying to figure out another Books Are Sick meetup that will happen in the GTA at some point. I'm not sure where or when yet, but the plans are in motion. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I got going on for this week. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I will see you whenever I do. Okay.